Some walls look powerful because the heroes are powerful. That doesn't mean the wall is powerful. And honestly, I think this is one of the easiest mistakes to make in Age of Empire Mobile. Because the first time you see a wall with heroes like Wubu, Miyamoto, maybe Timur, Vlad inside, Muan, or some other strong hero, your brain immediately assumes that thing must be impossible to be burned. Strong hero, strong hero, strong hero. Looks good. It makes sense. Case closed. At least that is how I used to look at the walls. Then I start paying attention to reports. And that's when things get weird. Because some walls filled with amazing heroes keep performing worse than a walls with weaker heroes. And that shouldn't happen. At least not on paper, so I started asking myself a question. What are these reports seeing that players aren't? Because if a hero strength isn't enough, then what actually make a WoW strong? And honestly, I think the answer surprised a lot of players. The heroes themselves matter less than the relationship between the heroes. That's where I think people make a mistake. Players build walls the same way they build fancy football team. They collect famous names, strong names, meta names, expensive names. Then they throw them together and expect magic. But walls don't care how famous the hero is. Walls care whether those heroes are helping each other. And that's where things get interesting. Because some of the worst walls I have ever seen were actually filled with good heroes. Not bad heroes. Good heroes. The problem was that every hero was trying to do something different. One wanted double attack, other wanted skill damage, one wanted infantry support or swordsman support, one wanted cavalry support, one wanted something else entirely different, and suddenly nobody is helping nobody. The WoW isn't working. The WoW isn't working as one system. It's working as a 5 separate heroes standing together to each other. Then I noticed something that completely changed how I evaluate WoWs. Most players ask, how strong is this hero? Veteran players often ask, what is this hero helping? Completely different questions. And once I start thinking that way, another realization appear. A lot of players are actually building hero collection instead of defenses. That's a huge difference because building a collection feels good. You unlock a hero, you upgrade the hero, you improve the hero, you add another strong hero, your account gets stronger. But a WoW isn't a collection. A WoW is a machine. And machines are only as strong as the way their parts work together. That's when I remember something I've seen many times. Players get burned and immediately blame the hero investment. Wrong hero, need more stars, need more skills, need more spending, need stronger heroes. But sometimes the problem isn't the strength. Sometimes the problem is compatibility. And honestly, compatibility is much harder to notice because strength is visible, synergy is invisible. You can look at a hero and immediately see power. You usually need reports before you see the synergy. And that creates another problem. Most players don't test walls until somebody is already burning them, which is probably the worst possible time to discover something isn't working. Then things got even more interesting because I start noticing that strong heroes can actually hide bad walls. At first that sounds ridiculous, but think about it. If a hero is strong enough, it can carry mistakes. The walls survive. The reports don't look terrible. The accounts still win the fight. Everything looks fine until a stronger opponent appears. And suddenly all the weakness become visible. That's where I think a lot of players get catched. The WoW wasn't actually good. The heroes were just strong enough to cover the problem. Then I start asking another question. Why do some players improve their WoW and get worse results? Because I've been seeing it. New hero, more investments, higher stats, better account, worse performance. How is that possible? I think the answer is surprisingly simple. Sometimes adding a stronger hero removes the thing that was making the WoW working. A strong part doesn't automatically create stronger machine, and honestly, I think that's one of the biggest traps in hero-based games. Play on optimized pieces. Then I noticed something else. The strongest WoW discussions usually aren't about the heroes. They're about interactions. People start talking about triggers, buffs, secondary attack, skill cycles, damage type, protection, support. They're talking about connection, not individual heroes. And that's when I realized something. Most players evaluate WoWs like a hero problem. Veteran players evaluate WoWs like a synergy problem. Completely different mindset. And once you start looking at WoW that way, another question appears. How many players are trying to solve a synergy problem with more investments? Because that's expensive, and sometimes it doesn't even work. I've been seeing players spending months improving heroes when the real problem was that the heroes weren't helping each other in the first place, and that's a scary realization, because one mistake costs resources, the other mistake costs months, which bring me to back to the original discussion. Lubu, Minamoto, or maybe Muan, strong heroes. Nobody disagree with that. But when somebody said this is no synergy, that completely changed the conversation. Because suddenly the question wasn't, are those heroes strong? The question became, are those heroes working together? And honestly, I think that's the question more players should be asking. Because the longer I play Age of Empire Mobile, the more I think strong heroes create average woes every day. But great synergy creates woes people remember. I'm curious what you think. Have you ever looked at the report and realized the problem wasn't the hero's strength at all? Or have you ever changed one hero and somehow made your WoW worse? Because honestly, the more reports I look at, the more I think the players spend too much time chasing stronger heroes and not enough time understanding why their current heroes work together. Anyway guys, that is for this video. Huge thank you to all channel members for supporting the channel. And if you do like to support the channel as well, you can go and check it out, the join button below. Members get early access to videos, exclusive contents, members shoutouts, and War Wars member can reach me out directly for strategy and account advice. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.